Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm continuing on with my exploration character series. And finally the time has come to go into nullsec. In terms of skills in the ship fit, everything pretty much remains the same as in the low-sec video. The majority of my skills are at level 3 with the exception of Astrometrics range finding. That one is leveled up to level 4 in order for me to scan down some of the tougher signatures. But let me show you the fit. In the lows I have 2 warp core stabilizers. In the medium slots I have the marker warp drive, 2 analyzers and both the pinpointing and range finding arrays. And in the highs I installed the cloaking device and the probe launcher. I loaded the probe launcher with the sister core scanner probes. They are rather pricey, but their added scanning strength makes it easier to find those very tough signatures. As for the rigs, I have the 2 mimetic algorithm banks. These give 10 more points to virus coherence when using the data analyzer. I mainly like to concentrate on data size, that's why I have 2 installed. But this choice is totally up to you. In fact, I'm gonna show you that even without these rigs, it's still possible to successfully hack the hard containers. Both my archaeology and the hacking skill are currently at level 3. If you haven't yet, please take a look at my video for the guide on the hacking minigame. I break down the ways that utility subsystems counteract the defensive subsystems when you're trying to open the container. It makes it much easier to open up the hard containers when you know exactly what to do. Now when it comes to getting to nullsec, I'll leave that up to you. My recommendation is to go through the wormholes. Just find a wormhole anywhere in high or low sec, and once you're inside the wormhole system, just keep on scanning cosmic signatures for a wormhole that leads into nullsec. It may take a bit of scanning around, but it is the safest way into nullsec. This way you don't have to worry about the gate cams at the gateway systems. And best of all, more often than not, you end up being deep into nullsec, areas that are not populated at all. Should you choose to go directly into nullsec via the gateway system, that's totally a viable option. It's not impossible to get in that way. You simply have to do proper research, just like with lowsec. Study the map and in particular the statistics for the systems. You have to look at the information like the ships destroyed in the last hour or the average pilots in space in the last half an hour. That'll tell you whether there's a gate camp, not with 100% certainty mind you. Just because you don't see any ships destroyed, that doesn't mean that nobody's waiting for you on the other side. Or more importantly, that there is no warp bubbles present. But if the coast looks clear, you can give it a try. The worst that can happen is that you're gonna lose your T1 exploration frigate, and these ships are pretty much disposable. Although I don't really recommend it. Depending on your location, it may just be simpler to go directly into nullsec by a stargate. This time around I did not encounter any problems. But keep in mind that nullsec is a very inhospitable place if you don't belong to an alliance that owns the systems. There are always scouts keeping an eye out for spies, and they will follow you from system to system, making it impossible for you to explore the sites. So make sure to set up your safe spots, and avoid warping from gate to gate if you see somebody else in local. There could be warp bubbles at the other gate with that person waiting for you. Warp to a random planet first, and then to your destination gate. That changes your approach trajectory, and protects you from warp bubbles pulling you out of warp. It goes without saying, but when picking a pocket of nullsec to explore, go for the systems that are very quiet. Be careful of the bottleneck systems that just have 2 stargates, and try to avoid the dead-end systems. Those are very easy to be captured in, unless you can escape through a wormhole. And always keep your eyes on local. Watch out for those spikes in population. Cloak up if you're at a site, and wait till they pass. The archaeology and hacking sites in nullsec are much better what you can encounter in high and low sec. If you're doing it right, the competition is almost non-existent, and there's a much higher prevalence of medium and hard containers that typically bring better loot. It's not always that the hard containers have the most expensive loot, but generally you'll do much better ISK-wise in nullsec than elsewhere, not including wormholes. I'll leave the discussion about wormholes for the next episode. With my current hacking level at 3, and the ship fitted the way I showed you in the beginning of the video, with 2 rigs boosting the virus coherence of my data analyzer. My current virus coherence is at 90 points, so that means I can take a few more hits from the defensive subsystems. And if I play the hacking minigame right, it's not that difficult to successfully hack the hard container. Of course there's a bit of luck involved too, but you have 2 tries. As for the relic sites, because I don't have the rig that boosts the virus coherence of my relic analyzer, I only have 70 points of virus coherence, but that is still enough coherence to unlock the hard container. As long as you have proper utility subsystems available, and you use them at the right time, you should be able to clear the board and get to the system core. If you're still having problems with unsuccessful hacking attempts, keep training the archaeology and hacking skills at least to level 4. And as you train more skills and earn more ISK, you'll be able to upgrade your equipment as well, like the Tech 2 Covered Ops frigates and Tech 2 analyzers. If you want to use the T2 analyzers, you have to invest your time to train up archaeology and hacking up to level 5. But I'll talk about upgrading the ships in one of the next episodes. So aside from getting into nullsec and knowing the basics of the hacking minigame, there is not that much difference between nullsec and lowsec exploration. You just have to find a quiet area of nullsec and then you're set. And the best way to do it, in my opinion, is going through the wormholes. And exploration in wormholes is going to be the topic of my next episode. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or other suggestions about nullsec exploration, please leave a comment on this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Have fun exploring nullsec in EVE Online.